Hello everybody, my name is Leo and in the today's video we're gonna do a demo review of the Marshall Origin 20. The Origin 20 is a single channel all-valve amp made in Vietnam. It has three 12EX7 preamp valves and two EL34 power amp valves. This is an interesting change from EL84 favored by many other 20 watt amps. This suggests an emphasis on Plexi style grind. It weighs 9.5 kilos and it is quite small, even though slightly bigger than other 20 watt amps like the PV Classic 20 that I have reviewed in my channel, but it is still pretty portable. So now let's describe it in detail. From left to right we have the power switch, obviously to switch on and off the amp. Then we have the output switch in order to switch the output wattage between 20, 3 and 0.5 watts. Then we have the presence knob and then the master knob, with which you can crank the EL34 valves. Then we have the EQ section with treble, mid and bass. Then you have the tilt knob with which you can blend between normal and high treble, like you would normally do with the Plexi, patching between normal and high treble channels, then adjusting the relative levels for a richer tonal palette. Finally, we have the gain knob that is foot switchable in order to boost it. Let's switch to the back panel. We have the speaker output with which you can connect an 8-ohm cabinet using socket number 3, or you can connect a pair of 16-ohm speaker cabinets to socket number 2 and number 3. Then we have the DI output with which you can connect the amp to an external recording device or sound desk, adding a speaker emulation like the Torpedo Wall of Sound. I've tested and I can tell you that it sounds pretty good. Then we have the Footswitch output jack with which you can engage the boost or switch on and off the effect loop. A Marshall Footswitch with two buttons is provided within the amp. Finally, we have the effect loop send and return. Now let's hear some more sounds. First of all, the signal chain. I have my Sir Classic Antique S that is going straight into the Marshall Origin 20, that is then going in a Sir reactive load, which is then going in a Millennium preamp, in a Lynx Aurora converter, and then in the computer where I have loaded the Torpedo Wall of Sound cabinet simulator. Let's start from a clean sound with everything to noon. So it stays pretty clean. Let's try to add some grind, pushing the EL34 valves. So as you may have noticed, when you push the EL34 valves, the amp adds a lot of high frequency that you can compensate using the tilt knob. That contribute to lower the high frequency, even a little bit too much. And this is the sweet spot for me. let's try to boost it even further. So it cleans up pretty nicely using your guitar volume knob. And if you want to add some height, you can just use the tilt knob. So you really have to play with the knob in order to find the right balance, because when you push the gain, the height frequency really become high, and so you can adjust them using the tilt knob. It really has a lot of dynamics. Now let's try to play with the EQ section. This is the sweet spot for me, so I would stay with this kind of master level, gain level and tilt level. So the EQ section is very nice. The three knobs operate in a very suitable way, as I like. You have only to pay attention to the treble knob, because this amp really can push the high too farther, in my opinion. So you have to find the right balance between the treble knob, the master knob, the gain knob and the tilt knob. So finally, I think this is a very nice amp, very dynamic. Obviously it recalls a Plexi, but at a very affordable price. So we reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. It would really have a great help. See you in the next video. Bye bye.